Hello! Hello from Grenada. I am Jet Set Sarah and I am thrilled to be here with you. If you're in America, happy Thanksgiving. If you're anywhere else in the world, happy Thursday. I'm so glad you're joining me here on the beach, on Grenada's beach in Grenada. I've been here for a week and actually I'm just about to go home. But before I go home, I wanted to share with you the 7 most important things I think you should know about visiting Grenada. All right, I'm gonna have a sip first because I always get a little dry. All right, cheers to you. Oh my goodness, you should be here. The breeze, the sunshine, the COVID-free air. It's fantastic. Hello everybody who's joining. I'm so happy that you're here with me. I'm Jet Set Sarah. I'm a travel writer and I am a journalist and I'm a content creator and a video host, and right now I am the happiest person in the world because I'm right here in Grenada sharing my tips for what to expect when you come to a visit with you. I have 7 tips, so it's not going to take us that long because actually I'm flying out today, so I'm on my way to the airport, but I could not leave without letting you know what a great island this is and what you should expect if you come here. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing. What's the first thing you should know about coming to Grenada? Well, you should know where you're going, right? That's the most important thing. First of all, it's Grenada, it's not Grenada. Grenada is an island in the southern Caribbean. It's southwest of Barbados. It's about a 40-minute flight from Barbados. From me in Miami, it took 3 hours. It's a very small country, only 110,000 people and 133 square miles. Now, I bet you didn't know this. Grenada, the country of Grenada, is not actually just one island. It is a 3-island nation. There's Grenada, then there's also Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So when you come to Grenada, you kind of get a whole 3-for-1 thing going, right? I've been here, I think this is my 5th visit, and I can say that I've been to Carriacou twice. Carriacou is fantastic. Carriacou to Grenada is kind of like the Exumas to Nassau, you know, it's like the out islands of Grenada, kind of. You really should go if you get a chance. You need to spend long enough that you can go to all 3 islands. I haven't been to Petit Martinique yet, but you know what they say, it's on my list. All right, so now you know where Grenada is. Let's talk about the second thing that you need to know. And the second thing you need to know is you're gonna have to make a plan to come here. For the time being, the days of just jumping on a plane and making a spontaneous trip to the Caribbean, I have to say they're over. As you know, the pandemic, and we've had a whole lot of changes, and the Caribbean as a region has been really good in mitigating all the bad things that have come of this pandemic by locking down early and by doing great contact tracing, which we'll talk about later. So now that the Caribbean has started to open, you may know the Caribbean started in June. The first island was a USVI and that opened in June. The last one will be the BVI on December 1st. But Grenada is open to Americans since October and they have very strict protocols. So you're not, as much as I hope I make you want to jump on a plane tomorrow, you're not exactly going to be able to jump on a plane and come here tomorrow. Here's what you're going to have to do. And I must say, the regulations change all the time, not just for Grenada, but for the entire Caribbean. So what I want to tell you, before I even tell you what the regulations are right now, I want you to know that you should go to puregrenada.com. That is the official Grenada website, and that will have the latest, most up-to-date protocols, because it could change next week, right? So there are going to be 2 changes coming up. When I came here, and I came here a week ago, when I came here, I had to have negative results of a PCR test taken within 7 days of my departure. That's now changed as of Saturday, and I'm looking, so I'm making it get it right. As of Saturday, you will now have to have negative results of a PCR, not a rapid, a PCR test taken within 3 days of your arrival. So your window is a little bit shorter, okay? So not 7 days, 3 days. Okay, the next thing is, as of December 1st, you're not gonna do what I did. I had to email all my stuff to the Ministry of Health. But now Grenada has a fancy pants uploading profile. Oh my God. No, they told me I'm on the wrong page. Showing you, and then I'm going to share it to this Discover page. Maybe that's a better idea, I think. Okay, so guys, I'm going to continue. I started, so I think I should finish, and we'll do it all. Okay, all right. So now what was I saying? I've lost my train of thought now. So as of December 1st, you're going to upload all your paperwork to covid19.gov.gn. And when you do that, you will be able to get a certificate of travel. They'll turn that around in probably 24 hours, and you'll present that at the airport when you get here. Now, number one tip that I have to tell you, print out all your documents. When you go to puregrenada.com, it will immediately bump you over to the Ministry of Health website, which will tell you exactly what you need, all the forms that you need to fill in, the waivers, the health questionnaires, all of that. When you upload those to the COVID website, just be sure, I know it's 2020, but just be sure to print them out and have them with you, because my experience was traveling from Miami, I found that I had to show my papers, my negative test papers, even before I got to the check-in counter. I showed them at the check-in counter, and then I showed them at the gate also. So make sure you have everything printed out just to be safe. The good thing about the new portal that they have is that you are able to upload your test results up to a few minutes before you actually get on the plane. So you can start the process early. You don't have to wait till 3 days in advance. You can start the process early, then you take your tests, and let's say you get your test results the day before you travel, then you go ahead and upload them and you're good to go. So the whole point is, I want to say the Caribbean has very tight protocols, and with good reason. Grenada has done a fantastic job with mitigating COVID. I'm happy to tell you, has had 0 deaths from COVID and only about 30-something cases. Can you imagine? Since March. I live in the States. Honestly, I can't even really imagine it myself, but good on you, Grenada. They're taking COVID very seriously, and if you come here as a visitor, it's your obligation to take it seriously too. Okay, number 3, the third thing you need to know when you're coming to Grenada. You need to know that you're going to have to quarantine. Grenada's regulations require that everyone who comes in through the United States has to quarantine for 4 days. And on the 4th day, you are administered a second PCR test. And if your results are negative, then you are free to roam about the country. So let's talk about this quarantine for a second. I'll tell you a bit about my experience. I was very lucky. I was a guest of Silver Sands on Grenada. I think the newest resort in Grenada. It's been around for 2 years. It's on Grenada's beach. Luxury resort, beautiful. I quarantined there for 4 days. It was a wonderful experience. But let me tell you a bit about it. Now, Silver Sands, quarantine, I think it differs a bit depending on which hotel you're at and what sort of facilities they have. Silver Sands, as you can imagine, had everything that was at my disposal. I chose, however, to stay in my room because I just think that's the safest thing, right? I don't want to be the person who comes here and, makes anyone sick. But if you want to, by appointment, you could use the gym. You could ask to dine in the restaurant. You could ask to maybe use the pool. But remember that the hotel and all the hotels are open, and they're open to locals also. So for example, if I decided I wanted to go to dinner at 7 o'clock, that I would have to be seated separately from any other guests who had already finished quarantine, or from locals who were here and obviously not subject to quarantine. Personally, as my grandmother would say, you set your mind to your condition. And I set my mind to my condition that I was going to have to stay in my room for 4 days. And I did. I missed running, but apart from that, I was very well taken care of at Silver Sands. And the truth is, any hotel that you stay at here in Grenada, you will be well taken care of. They have a system here called the Pure Safe Travel Approved Accommodation. And at all of those accommodations, including Silver Sands where I stayed and Mount Cinnamon where I am now, all the staff is trained in the safety protocols and all the best health protocols for COVID. So you know that when you come here, you can feel comfortable that you're going to be taken care of. And of course, you're going to be feeling very welcome. All right, number 4. Fourth thing you need to know about visiting Grenada now. You are going to have to wear a mask. As I told you, they're very serious about COVID prevention here. And basically, a rule of thumb is if you're not on the beach, as I am now, and you're not in your room or in your private villa, you should be wearing a mask. It's really that simple. It's what they do to mitigate the effects here. As a visitor, it's incumbent upon you. Don't leave home if you don't want to bring your mask. You could be like me. I have a wardrobe of about 7 masks, and oh my goodness, wait, hold on. How could I have forgotten? I have a most beautiful pure Grenada mask. If you ask nicely at the GTA, maybe they'll give you one too. But my point is, you're going to have to wear a mask, and you're going to have to abide by the protocols. And they've been really, really extensive and really impressive. So I can tell you, anytime you go to a restaurant here, for example, or an attraction, you go and your hands are sanitized as you get in, your temperature is taken either at the wrist or at the forehead, and then because they're very serious about contact tracing, you also have to fill in your name, where you're staying, and a contact number just in case. And that happens everywhere. Yesterday I went to La Sagesse for lunch. That happened there. We went to Annandale Falls, same thing. Everywhere you go, and it really is a way to keep everyone here safe, to keep you safe, and of course to keep the people who are delivering your vacation safe. All right, so bring your mask, don't forget. Now, number 5, the 5th thing you need to know about visiting Grenada is that there's a hotel here for everyone. I've been lucky. In the 7 days that I stayed here, I have stayed at 2 beautiful hotels. As I told you, I stayed at one, and well, let's talk about this for a second. So here I'm on Grandance. It's Grenada's most famous beach. It's 1.35 miles long. I can tell you that because I ran it this morning and I timed it and I measured it on my Garmin. But on the northern end of Grandance is where I stayed before, and that is Silver Sands. It's a 2-year-old resort. It's super luxury, super high-end. Rates start at $800 a night. You won't lift a finger. It's fabulous, right? But at the same time, if you wanted something a bit more modest, maybe you're traveling with your family, you want to do a little self-catering, somewhere like where I'm staying now, Mount Cinnamon, is fantastic. It's on the southern end of Grandance. It's on the hillside, so it's overlooking the beach, fantastic views, and most of the villas here have kitchens, so you can do your own self-catering if you want to, or you can just go out to restaurants. And we'll talk about restaurants later. But you can go out to restaurants. There's something at every price point here. There's Airbnb. You can stay somewhere classic like Spice Island Beach Resort, which is an all-inclusive, which is like just a few steps down the beach from here. Or you can stay somewhere completely new. I went to see a place called the Point at Petit Calavini, and that is a sort of I think they're calling it a private residence with condos and villas overlooking the water, Calavini Island and Hog Island. Fantastic. So you could say somewhere new like that, or somewhere classic like Spice Island. There's something at every price point, so don't let money be the factor that's keeping you away. All right, now let's talk about number 6, the 6th thing that you need to know about visiting Grenada right now. So even though there are all these very strict COVID protocols, trust me, there's still stuff to do, and you are going to have a fabulous time. When I say fabulous time, I mean fabulous time. So let me tell you my story. So I arrived last week Wednesday. The nurses came to my hotel room, and this is really an amazing thing. Wherever you're staying in Grenada, at no cost to you, on day 4, the nurses will arrive at your hotel and come and administer a PCR test. Nasal, which I've had many times before, and also the throat swab, which I've never had, which wasn't that much fun, but I mean, it was over in a second. But this is done at no cost to you, and you get the results within 24 to 48 hours, 1 to 2 days, which I tell you, I can't even do that at home in Miami. So I was very impressed. There's no cost, and you don't even have to leave your hotel room. Amazing. Anyway, I was set free from quarantine after 5.5 days, because I told you there's a little bit of a lag in time. It's going to be 1 to 2 days before you get your results. And I spent the day yesterday with this wonderful man named Simon Green. He's at Sayo the Hiker on Instagram. And Simon has been hiking since he was about 8 years old and knows this island like the back of his hand. And his thing is to take people beyond the beaten path in Grenada into places that you've never really go to, or explain things you've never really heard about. He's just great company, and I spent the day with him yesterday. I just had one day, unfortunately, to explore the island, but my gosh, we made the most of it. We went to Annandale Falls, which is one of 16 waterfalls here in Grenada. You can't come to Grenada and not go to a waterfall, trust me. I didn't get in this time, but last time I was here, I went to Concord Falls, and I did get in that time, and that was great. Annandale is gorgeous, and FYI, if you've been there before, when you come back, you need to go again, because there's a new restaurant that's open there. It's called Wild Orchid. It's supposed to be, just 2 weeks ago it opened, and it's apparently the happening place in the evening. And they light up the falls, and it's really gorgeous, and they have some very potent cocktails. But the highlight of my day was going to Grand Etang National Forest. Now, Grenada is, you know, it's called the Spice Island. It's a fertile, very volcanic island, very rich soil. It's got, I think, 5 chocolate estates and 5 distilleries here. So there's so much to see and eat. But in the middle of the island is Grand Etang National Reserve. Now, Sayo tells me that it's 30,000 hectares. I have no idea what that is in real money, but it's big. And we spent a wonderful, I would say, 2 or 3 hours in the reserve. We hiked to the crater lake that's at its center, which was amazing, filled with tilapia and Japanese koi of all things. We saw monkeys. We saw Mona monkeys. Grenada is famous for its Mona monkeys. They're vegetarian. They eat fruits and flowers. I got video of them. You have to go check. So if you go check my Instagram at Jet Set Sarah, and go check that out. I have it in stories. There's just so much to do here. So don't think that you're gonna come here and you're gonna sit in quarantine for 4 days and then you're gonna get out and restaurants won't be open. Yesterday I went to BB's Crab Shack, which is also another classic Grenadian restaurant. BB's Crab Back, is in St. George's. It's on the water, and they're famous for, you guessed it, the crab back, and it did not disappoint. I've been there before. I was happy to go there again. And I also spent the most amazingly tranquil time at La Sagesse. La Sagesse is a small hotel on a beach called La Sagesse, in the southeast. Yes, the Atlantic side, southeast coast. Very tranquil, leaning palms that look as if they're just gonna fall into the water. A pumpkin soup that was laced with ginger and was exquisite. Oh my goodness, you must order it if you go. My point is, there's so much to do here. Please don't put off a visit. Please don't think you'll be stuck in your room. Because you're not. You're gonna want, there's so much to do, and you're gonna want to do it all. Which brings me to my 7th and last point. The 7th and last thing you need to know about visiting Grenada right now is that you're going to want to stay longer. Trust me. Not only is there so much to do, but think about it from a practical point of view. If you spend 4 days in quarantine, and then let's say by bad luck you don't get your quarantine results back for 48 hours, so for 2 days. So if you spend 6 days in your hotel, as wonderful as it is, no matter how wonderful it is, you're going to want to get out and go out and see the country, right? That's why you left home. So I would say, if you can, and hopefully you save some vacation time, think about coming for no less than 10 days. That's where you're really going to maximize your time. And the good thing about that is that hoteliers here recognize that people might want to stay longer, and so they're giving value adds, they're giving discounts. If you want to stay 10 days or more, they're going to give you a break. They're going to make it they're going to give you a break, and they're going to make it worth your while. And honestly, you won't regret it. This is day 8 for me now. I was supposed to be home yesterday. I'm still here today. And honestly, if I didn't have to go home today, I might just stay. Anyway, I just wanted you to know, guys, that Grenada, the Spice Island, is somewhere you definitely should be. They are COVID-free in terms of they had no deaths, only 30 something cases, all of whom have recovered. It feels like, honestly, for someone who lives in America, it feels like a different world here. I feel like I can exhale. Honestly, we all need Grenada right now, and I think we all need the Caribbean right now more than ever. So I think if you're thinking about planning a trip, maybe not now, but maybe in 2021, please, you would do well to put Grenada on the very top of your list. So if you need more information, because it changes every day, know that you can go to puregrenada.com and find all the information on all the latest protocols. You can also come to my website, jetsetsarah.com, and my social channels. I'm Jet Set Sarah on everything, but I'm most fun on Instagram. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Look at this beautiful beach that I have to leave. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I hope you're eating lots of turkey. And if you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you're just having a great day. We certainly are here in the Caribbean. Take care, everyone. I'm Jet Set Sarah. I'm in the Caribbean and I want to be back.